Welcome back to Talos Principle 2. I'm dear darling, and why are we here? What truth awaits us? And why don't we answer more of these questions together? Well, I felt like I was going at like hyperspeed in the last episode for no apparent reason. Let's like chill out a bit, you know. Dear darling, you gotta chill out. But let's see what Athena and Miranda have to say.
Of course, go ahead.
The southern part of the island is completely dead.
Is
No
this the southern
animals, no
part?
plants.
That's the
The
southern
soil is too alkaline for anything to live except bacteria.
part.
Yes,
Not trees, are they?
That's why it's a good location for some of the experiments.
Experiments?
Well, if we want to show that we can make the cosmos more beautiful, then why don't we start there? The desert doesn't have to be dead. If we modify the conditions, life can thrive there.
Oh,
And that could
that
be
means the
first
actual
step
world, right?
towards spreading life to other worlds.
not on this island.
What do you think?
I think that sounds like a plan.
Interesting. So that probably hints into the next area we'll be going to will be the desert area, and down below. What? That's probably the. What is going on? Eh? Okay. Well, the only thing we can really do is get this jammer to grab this jammer. I assume that is the exit. Okay, so the ultimate goal, get that open. Jam that. What do we really want? I guess we want the accumulator. So we can have a laser. And we need the inverter. Wow, this looks like it's going to be very complicated. I've just by looking at this. What do I want? I want you to get back over here. I want to try something actually. Can you connect to it? You can't connect to it. Okay. Good thing to check. No, what I think we want is I think we want a jammer over here. Take this. Put it over here. Take that. Ah. We need to swap something with it. That's not possible, is it? Or is it possible? Hold on. No. We need to put you here. Then we need to do the same thing and get the inverter out. Oh, but we don't have another object without that accumulator. The general idea is we want accumulator plus inverter over here. No! No, we can't make it charge on itself, can we? No, we can. Hold on. I think I got this wrong. I think I charged you up with the wrong thing. The idea is we want to get the accumulator charged up with blue, don't we? Hold on, get this jammer back out of here. So what we need is this, right? Then we need you wait, we need you to be open. Then we need the accumulator to be charged up. Right. Then we bring the jammer back out to get this back in. Get the other jammer, jam that, grab this. I know I was saying I need to like chill out and stop going at hyperspeed, and here I am going at hyperspeed once again. But as soon as I like got the accumulator over here through the jammers, I was like, oh, I did it correct. I did this entirely wrong. This accumulator needs to be a blue laser, not a red laser. It's much easier to make it a blue laser, I suppose, and work combat rather than getting it and the inverter, right?
Cities there are out there under the ocean. Cities where people lived for thousands of years. Cities with their own history, their own culture. All of it lost under the waves. If they'd been less greedy, they could have kept all that.
I don't think we can pass moral judgment on an entire species based on the decisions of a handful of leaders.
I think that's very fair.
But I do think they made a mistake.
Also fair.
They stopped caring about what they built. They stopped seeing the romance of civilization.
romance. I like the way you said that. How do we get this converter down? Or do we use it as a thing to interact with? We also might as well visit... I can't remember what statue we saw over here, but we saw a statue. I don't remember where now. Oh, yes. That looks like, it's a Prometheus statue. Which I'm not sure what we're going to do with it at the moment. Kind of the Sphinx statues are the most interesting to us because they're the most accessible to solve, methinks. Oh, just a Prometheus fire. Okay. Wait. It's not Prometheus. Who's this? It's just a random person. There's also a building over there. You see it? I see a building over there. I don't know what it's doing here, but I will explore it and see what it may hold. Spooky. That's just a rock. A palm reader. Oh, it's Lithrisir, I see. That makes sense. It's Lithrisir has all his logs very far out from the civilization.
You may wonder why I insist on these unsanctioned, unplanned expeditions. Some think it is because I hate civilization and prefer to lose myself in nature.
Lose yourself in
This
a moment.
is precisely the opposite of the truth. It is because I love New Jerusalem that I have to leave. Because it is only when I am here that I fully appreciate what the city means. And also because I believe that if I stayed at home, I would one day be ethically compelled to commit acts of violence against those who, in their arrogance, imagine that humans should live in harmony with the chaos that surrounds us.
What? Lithrisir, but I don't know if you should be saying that on record. To be honest, that seems like something that you shouldn't admit, to be honest. You want to commit acts of violence against people with a different opinion from you like that? Where is the Sphinx statue as well? I thought about the fact that we haven't seen the Sphinx statue yet. I guess it must be on the other side of the island, I'm not sure. Interesting that it naturally would be something we discover very late if it is on the other side of the island, rather than early. Or maybe I just walked past it, I don't know. So, okay, we have a clue of what we need to do for this Pandora statue, is we need to get both a red and blue laser out to get the Pandora's green laser, presumably. Okay, here's number 6. Again, we still haven't found the Sphinx statue. This one is so big. This, like, level, world. Why is this one so much bigger than the others? Up and down. Is that a flipper thing over there? Okay. Oh, weird. Super weird. What is going on? We can detach a fan. I feel like we might need this fan. I don't really know what we need the inverter for yet, so I guess we'll pop you in for now. I don't really know what we need you for either. But I assume there's something up here for us to at least look at. I don't even know where the laser emitter is. It's here. There's a blue one and there's a green one. And we need the blue one here. What does the inverter invert? Presumably we don't need a fan anymore. Or we don't need this fan anymore. So we might as well detach this one, right? What is an inverted? That's always going to be red. And that's going to be green to make a blue. Okay, I'm just trying to think. Probably what we need This will make a red. Yes, this is correct. And then we connect over here with you to make an inverted blue. Okay. Simple enough. I didn't really know, I didn't really like say my thought process at all for that one. It just kind of like evolved naturally. What does a flipped green do? It doesn't work. Okay, noted. This feels like a ripe level for Pandora breaking, but... And that's for now. I know we don't need to do this again, but I feel like it's more satisfying if I leave it in the solved state. More social media. Place of longing, New York. New York was a place that aroused great passions. Some loved it and called it the greatest city in the world. Others hated it and called it an ugly cesspit full of rude snobs. I don't know where the truth lies, and I know it was a place full of life. There was always something new going on and people rushing about, excitement in the air. Must have been an overwhelming sensation to stand in the canyons formed by those great skyscrapers, in a crowd of people, feeling history happening all around you. I can't say, I have been to New York before when I was much younger. As I understand New York, it's not so much that people are rude, it's so much that people have things to do and they can't be bothered to deal with you, which you might also interpret as rude, but it's more like people will be like willing to help out, but like they also are busy, isn't it? That's Prometheus over there, or is that the Sphinx? Poisonous humility, exerted from orthodoxy by G.K. Chesterton, but what we suffer from today is humility in the wrong place. Modesty is moved from the organ of ambition. Modesty has settled upon the organ of conviction, where it was never meant to be. A man was meant to be doubtful about himself, but undoubting about the truth, and this has been exactly reversed. Nowadays, the part of a man that a man does assert is exactly the part he ought not to assert himself. The part he doubts is exactly the part he ought not to doubt, the divine reason. Huxley preached a humility content to learn from nature, but the new skeptic is so humble that he doubts if he can even learn. And thus we should be wrong if we had said hastily that there is no humility typical of our time. The truth is that there is a real humility typical of our time. You sure repeat clauses a lot, huh? But it so happens that it is practically a more poisonous humility than the wildest frustrations of the ascetic. The old humility was a spur that prevented a man from stopping, not a nail in his boot that prevented him from going on. For the old humility made a man doubtful about his efforts, which might make him work harder, but the new humility makes a man doubtful about his aims, which will make him stop working altogether. So this is a commentary on how humility and skepticism, I suppose, in the modern day are more detrimental, I suppose, than beneficial, because it's now doubting the truth. It's now doubting the truth rather than doubting yourself and believing the truth or something, right? I had to read this twice to fully understand it. I feel like I conceptually get what it's going for, but it's difficult to explain, right? From Miranda to Athena. It's incredible. There's an entire submerged town just off the coast, surprisingly well preserved. Sailing over it, I finally understood what the ancients meant by eerie. I obviously couldn't have that kind of physiological response they did, but I think the mental response was pretty close. A contradictory response. Part melancholy, part fascination. It's strange how tragedy and destruction make the beauty of civilization more obvious. Miranda. P.S. A deer got onto the maintenance area and made a huge mess. Sorry, I'll clean it. P.S. I may have been feeding it. I assume that must be a Athena comment. From Hypatia's Journals, Volume 1, The Founding of New Jerusalem, and Day 296. Cornelius and Sarabai went back to the dam today. We've been holding off on constructing any new humans to concentrate on building a home for them first, but there's a limit to what 13 people can do on their own, and everyone is eager to start construction on some of the more ambitious structures. Sarabai's kindness and patience is something that we'll certainly miss out here, where tempers can sometimes run high, and I'll miss Cornelius too. He was there when I was born, and he is just as much a father to me as Athena and Alexandra Drennan are my mothers. But I suppose I can always go visit them. The dam isn't that far, and once we complete the monorail in a few decades, it would truly only be a few minutes away. Or a couple dozen years, really, when you might live forever. Interesting. But the dam is where the accident happened, right? Or if I'm getting the timelines confused.
Something I really like about Alex, one of the reasons why I'm here doing this, is that she's really humble. She has this incredibly positive view of humanity. She
Yeah.
believes we can accomplish anything.
Prometheus
But
fights
it's not
someone
about
that way.
her. She doesn't think that she's smarter or better than anyone else. She just looks at us as a species. And even though she can see how small we are in the grand scheme of things, she thinks that we could conquer the stars and give meaning to the universe.
Somewhat over there. it
Even
seems.
now. Even
Oh.
when none of us are going to live to see it. Isn't that awesome?
Is that the dear Miranda has been feeding? Also, is this a... What is this? A secret world? Oh no, this is World 1. Okay, so Prometheus' fight was literally behind World 1 this entire time. There's a nearby question mark over here. This is probably another log. Actually no, this looks like it is going to be a secret level. Oh no, it's a log. How did I miss these? I must have took such a roundabout path to get anywhere. From Yarnith to Athena. Beloved founder, I beg you to return to us. We cannot achieve a goal without you. You are the one who divined Elohim, who overcame the trials of a simulation. What are we before that? How can we possibly find a path that will not lead to the mistakes of our past? You are our soul linked to the wisdom of a progenitor. Without you, we are lost. Praised be your name, Yarnith. I have a feeling that's kind of what she wanted to get away from, right? But I don't know. Excerpted from What's Wrong with the World by G.K. Chesterton. Oh, again. Our modern prophetic idealism is narrow because it's undergone a persistent process of elimination. As a bold statement to start off with, to be honest, we must ask for new things because we are not allowed to ask for old things. The whole position is based on this idea that we've got all the good that can be got out of the ideas of the past, but we've not got all the good out of them. But we've not got all the good out of them. Perhaps at this moment, not any of the good. What? But we have not got all the good out of them. Perhaps at this moment, not any of the good out of them. I see. And the need here is the need of complete freedom for restoration as well as revolution. Okay, I see. And there is one metaphor of which the moderns are very fond. They're always saying you can't put the clock back. The simple and obvious answer is you can. A clock, being a piece of human construction, can be restored by the human finger to any finger or hour. In the same way, society, being a piece of human construction, can be reconstructed upon any plan that has ever existed. You can indeed turn the clock back, but if it stops ticking, it's dead. I feel like the metaphor is being lost here by taking it too literally and trying to, in like a way of trying to poetically expand upon the metaphor. I feel like the actual meaning of it has been lost. I don't think this is much more saying that you can't literally turn a clock back, as it's more, and you can't reverse a human societal construct, as it's more as you can't reverse the natural construct of time passing forwards, as in you can't undo past mistakes, right? That's kind of how I'm reading it. But this prophetic idealism, and it's an interesting point, the fact that this idea that it's narrow because we've already feel like we've answered all the questions we can about things we have answers to, when really maybe we've not like even completely got anything out of it yet. Black snow. The coal mine finally brought decent jobs. It lifted us up from poverty and made us proud. We weren't just ordinary workers. We were the lords of the underworld. And with our skills, we kept the whole country alive. The mine also brought black lung, gruesome injuries, and death. And when it went away, it brought the collapse of our entire society. As for a plant, I know it brought electricity and even more jobs. And I know what a difference that made in people's lives. I also know that when you go out and play, there are black flakes in the snow. Why don't we just switch to a safer technology once they realised that coal was dangerous? Maybe because of, unfortunately, other societal structures in place, which make it difficult to transition from one to another, because some people have a vested interest in harmful things being, not necessarily harmful things continuing to be harmful, but more so that they have a vested interest in the things which cause harm to remain. They didn't always have a choice. Sometimes coal was all they had, true, or they were allowed to have, or the alternative was poverty. At other times they wanted to switch, but there were powerful interests that prevented change. That's what I was saying. We can't blame people for the world they were born into. Very true. The world is something which is formed around most people, not something which unfortunately, you have as direct control over as you might like to think. Okay, let's walk over to world level 7 then. We'll pop in and pop out, I suppose, just to save our progress. So the only other question mark we must have left must be the Sphinx statue, which I guess is over here, so I kind of want to do that before we do world 7, to be honest. Jump. Good jump. Because the Sphinx statue is something we want to keep an eye out on. As far as... Oh, that's not a Sphinx statue. Okay, that's a secret level. Still useful. Where's the Sphinx statue then? Oh, there's another Miranda thing over there. We'll see if I remember that next time, and if I don't, then so be it. But on that note, I'm going to round this episode off here. What's this level? Elegance. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been Talos Principle 2. What is going on over here? And I've been Dear Darling. I hope we... Wait, hold on, what? Why is this, like, weirdly purple? What? Well, we found a star. I guess we had to get all the Tetronimos. That's another one. I am not going to remember that in the future, but yes, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Talos Principle 2. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.